So I'm trying. Anything else?
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Dave, who are the people that respond best to this and have the hardest time responding? And, well, since it's the last question, I'm going to throw in the other one that I had.
Oh, it's your fault. Okay.
At what age can you start having this conversation?
Okay, so who responds well, who responds poorly, what age can you start the conversation? Who responds well with people who are open, people who are in pain or open-minded or both. Who responds poorly? The others. Back to your dabblers and that kind of stuff. I mean, my goal is to get to the place where my courses are hot enough that somewhere between 7 and 12% of the undergraduate and graduate population of Stanford takes something like this, which means I'm now between 1 in 6 and 1 in 8 people away from everybody on campus. So the 6 degrees of freedom, and everybody's having a conversation. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What does it mean to you? I mean, we're all in the conversation. As long as one person at each of your table has taken my course, I'm good to go. Because most of you don't have a very clear idea, and they're going to rule the conversation. So I'm very imperialistic. I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to change the culture. That is what I want to do. You know, I come from Silicon Valley. Blah 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 blah. $1 billion. Okay? That's what we do. You know, it's not interesting unless blah 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 blah. Millions of people, billions of dollars. That's the only way we know how to talk. But you know, I started mechanical engineering working in the sewage industry. So thank God I had jobs like in real places before. So that's the good, the bad of it. In terms of the age you can begin this way, do you mean more how young or how old?
Yeah.
How young? I think pretty young. And the way pretty young has to do with the positioning of the way life is. I mean, I just did a bunch of work with seniors in local high schools. I actually believe this deserves to go down to the junior high and senior high level. Because this, what I call the all will be well syndrome. You know, get into the AP classes, and then you're going to get on the fast track, and then you're going to get to good college, and then you're going to go to grad school, and you're going to get good, and all will be well. Just do this, and all will be well. You know, as though that made sense. Not that those are bad things. But what I deal with at the graduate level is what I call the decision explosion, because the all will be well system just ran out of gas. Just ran clean out of gas. Now it's actually your life. And there's no automatic next thing to do, other than divorce the wife and get the Corvette. You know? And that's what that's about a lot of times. And so early on, you know, questions like, I mean, is it really that helpful a question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Is that our favorite question at Thanksgiving dinner? Or is our favorite question, what do you like learning? You know, you can ask a 7-year-old, what did you used to think when you were 3 you don't think anymore? Validate the fact that we have to unlearn stuff to learn stuff. You know, it's okay that I used to be wrong. Right? You're coaching people into these things all along. I mean, Carol Dweck's work, you know, a lot of you probably heard the self-esteem stuff. Turns out it's all boomeranging on us now. You know, oh, you're so smart, you're so great. Those people don't perform very well. You know, you're so smart, you can do anything. That'll ruin a kid. As opposed to, nice try. Nice try. Good effort. You can, what you learned, you can do better. Nice try is a lot better than you're smart. So those kinds of things, I think, begin to configure what life is like. You still need to be, you know, they're 12 or they're 14, and you know, you may want to say, no, you can't quit piano yet. You haven't earned the right. You still want to be authoritative because, you know, if they were in charge of themselves, you know, they'd be a mess. But configure them to become good at owning their life rather than good at just finding the answer. They're not a problem to be solved, they're a life to be lived. So I think it starts young. I think it starts really young. It's a worldview. It's actually, I'm really dealing with what's life for? Why are we here? Rod ran out of questions. I actually did. I'll take one more while he's walking up. He's not paying me. I can do what I want, you know.
have you thought about doing a video like you did at the beginning there with students after they've gone through your stuff?
I've got one that's 3 minutes long, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, we've got, oh God, it's great, he saved my life. You know. We got a bunch of that going on. No, it's actually not that hard to be helpful. Because I'm mostly responding to a void. I mean, they really almost have nothing at all in terms of a conscious characterization around how do I own my life. Like I know Steve Garber, who I think a lot of on the East Coast works in this stuff, says it really is 3 things. He's got a book called Fabric of Faithfulness, How to Live a Life of Coherence. And his observation is you need 3 things. You need a telos sufficient for your praxis, i.e., and this I'll agree. You need a great big idea, teleology, your theory of everything. You need a big story into which to put your praxis, your practical life. So how does your little story fit into a big, what's the ground, what's the stage in your mind? You know, is the universe friendly, as Einstein would ask, you know? Are we just waiting until Jesus gets back and then we're out of here? Or what's going on? You know, what's going on that stage? And then what's your praxis that then locates yourself? So if you can locate yourself in the big story, thing 1. Thing 2, a community of like-mindedness. Is there a place where you can go to people who share some of your values at least, and particularly some of your agony around the important questions, get together and work on that every now and then? And lastly, mentors. How about we stand on each other's shoulders rather than each other's feet? So if you've got a big idea, you've got a place you can go, you've got some people ahead of you pulling you along, if you've got those 3 things, people who had those, lived coherently, were able to say, no, I think I actually am living the life I'm trying to live. Much more often than people do. And that's hard to do, but it's doable. It's hard to do, but it's doable. God bless you guys. Good to be with you. I think we're done.